Hey guys, and welcome back to STL TV Live. Now joining me in the studio is Karen Aroesty and Alex Dietrich. Alex Dietrich is of the Missouri History Museum, and Karen is from the Anti-Defamation League. Can you tell us a little bit about the work that you do there?
ADL is a civil rights and human relations organization, been around 100 years next year.
Wow.
My office, which is one of 30 offices nationwide, covers eastern Kansas, the state of Missouri, and the Southern District of Illinois.
Great.
So we're doing civil rights, constitutional rights, religious freedom, anti-bias education, you name it, we do it.
Wow,
Social justice.
That's a lot under one umbrella.
It is.
Wow, and so, Alex, you're from the Missouri History Museum, and
Yes.
You're here to talk about a documentary there. Can you tell us a little bit about how this documentary got started?
Sure. So most folks may know the Missouri History Museum for Twilight Tuesday, but we have that, exhibits, and more. And so under community programs, we have a documentary screening series, and with that, we're partnered with the ADL to show Not in Our Town.
Now tell us a little bit give us a synopsis of what is Not in Our Town about.
Not in Our Town comes from a nonprofit that was started out some years ago on the West Coast, which is about community building against hate crime and bias incidents. And a number of different incidents have happened over the years, and what they've done is address them very specifically, in one way through documentary filmmaking, and in another through education resources and community building links. And the Not in Our Town Light in the Darkness, which is the program we're doing Thursday, is the story of the killing of an Ecuadorian immigrant in Patchogue, New York in 2008, Long Island, roughly. And the way in which it really completely destabilized an otherwise very small community and opened up serious rifts in the way people thought everybody got along.
Wow. Can you tell us a little bit about the background of how it happened?
Well, it was kids, actually. It was a large group of kids who essentially created a kind of game that they did on a consistent basis, mind you, in attacking mostly Hispanic immigrants in the area, to the point where public officials didn't realize how fearful its Spanish-speaking community was of even just walking in certain what people would consider to be safe neighborhoods at night in the dark. ADL sort of entered the hate crime discussion in the late 70s and early 80s. We drafted the original hate crime law that is now the model statute in 45 states in the District of Columbia. So we've been doing hate crime education for a long time. When the Light in the Darkness documentary was made, there's no question, but it was a great opportunity to partner. We worked with the History Museum over a few years on anti-racism education pieces, and having the capacity of the audience that they create through their various film series was really too good to miss. So the other group that's working with us, or actually I should say the three, is the U.S. Attorney's Hate Crimes Task Force, the Hispanic Leaders Group of Greater St. Louis, and Missouri Immigrant and Refugee Advocates. So the idea is we would hope that everybody would come together for an evening of learning around the documentary, but also getting to know who are the resources. Where can you go when something goes wrong? Can we make St. Louis a place where people feel they do have a safe place to go? Because one of the biggest issues in all of this is lack of reporting. People simply are too afraid to address the issue.
So now the documentary, was it mainly filmed in St. Louis, or where was it filmed?
Well, the documentary was on Long Island. Patrice O'Neill is the executive producer and director of the documentary, and she comes from Not in Our Town, the organization.
Okay. And now, Alex, can you tell us about the screening and why the History Museum decided to show this piece?
Sure. With our exhibits and programs, we are seeking for an understanding of the past, but also an addressing of current issues, and how do we move forward and not repeat certain elements of the past. And we've seen with issues such as Trayvon Martin's case and other cases that what happens in one area of the nation affects us all, and that St. Louisans really want a safe space to discuss the issues and get questions answered.
Alex, I'm going to ask you to hold right there, and we're going to come back with more of that. You guys don't want to go anywhere. Remember to keep up with STL TV and all of the great events going on around St. Louis. You have to friend us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can always catch us streaming live at stltv.net. Keep it locked right here on STL TV. We'll be back with more. You don't want to miss it.